They both are very important for every organization. Basically, how to purchase, where to purchase, what are the quantities, what is the quality, okay, and how to store in a store management. So, first of all, I'm starting with the help of some definitions. What is purchase management? Basically, purchase management is the management of the purchasing processes and related aspect in an organization. Here, what we are doing, we are just thinking about what are the purchasing processes we are following, okay, and what are the basic decisions when we are going to purchase the raw material. We are going to purchase a locality or location, what kind of facilities we are going. So these all the terms comes under the purchase management. A purchasing management department can be formed and operated by one or more employees in order to ensure that all services, goods, supplies, and inventories needed for the organization to operate all ordered and kept in a stock. So basically purchase management department work for through the one and more employee. Here there are some employees who are working for ordering the services, ordering the goods, supplies, and inventories, and now as well as control inventory levels. We have to purchase as per the place where we put our raw material. Okay, we have to think about what kind of we can say we have stores for putting this kind of material in the storerooms or in the inventories, so that the related cost will reduced. Okay, the cost associated with the purchasing the items. Okay, I know we know very well that anything which we are going to purchase have some cost, okay, and very beneficial for the management. So we have to think all the aspects when we are going to purchase, and we have to manage this purchase and inventories for the good purposes. So these are some definitions as given by some, we can say, the writers. Number one is purchasing is the procuring of the material. It supplies machineries, tools, and services required for equipments, maintenance, and manufacturing. Basically, purchasing is the procuring. It means we have purchased the things or materials so that we can supply these material to the different departments or to the different machineries for production. What kind of tools and services we required, or what type of equipments we required, how to maintain these equipments, and how to go for the manufacturing. Okay, after you can say after concentrating on all the aspects, we say that we have an effective purchase management or store management. As per the Walter, who says that purchasing means the procurement of the proper material, machinery, equipments, and supplies for stores which is used in manufacturing of a product. What does it mean? It means that we having each and everything which we are purchasing, either it is material, either it is machinery or equipments or supply these particular machineries. So in the stores, so which is used in a proper manufacturing processes, so that is a procurement, purchasing and procure the things in a proper spaces. Okay, that is called purchasing management. Now, what are the basic objectives and why we apply purchasing management? We can purchase each and everything and anywhere, okay, but what will be the cost? Either we are we are doing the comparative study for purchasing the things. Okay, suppose we are going to purchase machinery for cutting. Okay, in Uttar Pradesh, the rate of cutting machinery is suppose 12,000 rupees. Okay, but other countries or other states, the rate of cutting machinery is below 12,000, or that can 10,000 or 9,000. And if suppose our location is in Uttar Pradesh, and we are purchasing from Uttar Pradesh, so it means the transportation cost will be reduced. But just for comparing the cost, we are purchasing the material or machinery from other states, but the obviously the machinery cost is down, but the transportation cost will be high. So we have to compare each and everything. Okay, we have to add on all the cost. If the cost is down, from where we are purchasing, just think about it. From where we are purchasing, suppose as per the comparison of Uttar Pradesh and as per the comparison of Rajasthan, if the transportation and raw material purchasing cost is lower than the Uttar Pradesh, then we will switch towards the Rajasthan. Okay, and if the cost of Uttar Pradesh and the purchasing of Uttar Pradesh is lower, we can say all the cost is lower than Rajasthan, so we should go for uh, Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Now, what are the basic objectives? To provide an uninterrupted flow of material and services for company operation. The basic purpose of purchasing management and store management is we have to provide an uninterrupted flow of material. It means there is no any barrier, there is no any, we can say, hazards, there is no any kind of stoppage of the material, because some of the processes, as we have read, that some of the production processes are continuous processes, they will not stop at any point. So it is necessary that we are providing an uninterrupted flow of material and services for company operation. Second one is to find reliable alternative source of supply. It means from where the source, from where we are purchasing, or we can say the suppliers of raw materials should be reliable. Because sometimes what happened, when we purchase the things, the suppliers do some kind of, we can say, mess they will create. Okay, either they stolen the things, or in between the stock, we can say, has stolen or has checked by the different we can say police. So what they do, they have given some lot to the police for to save themselves. Okay, so there should be a very important thing that we have to uh, think about the sources. The sources should be reliable, from where you are purchasing the particular things you are purchasing from particular market. That market has to be we can say a proper registered market, so that you can claim if you didn't receive a proper material. Okay, so there should be a reliable alternative. If you don't have an alternative, so you can go for the cheating. Okay, some of the people will cheat you, or they can sell the raw material on the higher prices, and that will affect to your production processes. Next is to buy at the most economic order quantity. It means, as we have in earlier lectures, I have told you that economic order quantity will be reduced. Try to purchase from that kind of sources where your overall cost will be reduced and the quantity is will be higher. Okay, try to take more and more quantity in the lesser prices. So buy as per the economic order quantity. Next is to buy at the best prices. For example, a combination of right quality at the best price with the best supplier services. What we do, we will go for the comparison. We know that we have a number of suppliers, we have a number of sellers in the market. So we will compare the prices, we will compare the quantity and quality of raw material, or we can say the machinery quality. You have to identify which seller or which supplier is best suitable supplier for you. As I've told you that there are some vendor rating, there are some supplier rating, through which we can find out which supplier, which location, and which source is best suitable place for purchasing. Okay, next is to maintain good relation with the vendors. What we have to here, we have to maintain proper relationship with the vendors, so the communication gap will not arises, and you will get your product, or you will communicate with that person who is supplying the goods to you, who is supplying the raw materials to you. You have to contact each and every person, and you have to flow the information to each and every person in the organization, that from where you are purchasing, from where you are supplying, and from whom you are supplying. Okay, next is efficient record keeping and management reporting. Here we will make or maintain a proper record of each and every process, and we have to manage the overall reporting to the top management that we have these kind of sources. This is the cost which is, we can say, the cost is occurring, or how to reduce the overall cost. So this is the objective of purchase management. Now, what is the nature and what is the scope of purchase management? So as we know that purchase management is a very effective management and very useful for our organization. So we have to think about it, that there is a commodity analysis or market research, purchase order tracking and follow up, determination of need and specification of internal customers, transmitting forecast for future need to the suppliers, suppliers performance measurement, management of the suppliers quantity, contact management and negotiation, management of inbound and outbound transportation, pricing and cost analysis. So these are the, we can say, the points, or we can say a scope of purchase management. On each and every point we have to consider, or we have to think over it. Okay, if we are missing any of the point, that can create a problem for purchasing. Okay, first of all we have to take a commodity analysis. It means, what is commodity? Commodity is a raw material. Okay, either we are purchasing, or we can say from where we are purchasing, or what kind of commodity we are taking. That should be a very important thing. We have to think over it, what is commodity, and what are the basic, we can say, first of all we have to discuss what are the basic difference of goods and, we can say, the commodity. So what is the difference between commodity and goods? It means commodity is a raw material which cannot sell. Okay, but product is a finished good. Just take an example of wheat. Okay, wheat is a grain, and that is called commodity. But after the, we can say, after it becomes powder, that becomes a flour, and flour is a product. Okay, through the usage of wheat we make the wheat flour, and wheat flour is very useful for our houses for making chapatis. So that is the basic difference of commodity and uh, product. So first of all we have to go for commodity analysis. Next is market research. Yes, we have to do the research in the market. uh, if you have purchasing the material, you have to test this material, from where you are purchasing. You have to go for researching the market. uh, Either suppose you are purchasing the raw material for making the infrastructure of a building. So what we needed, we need the bricks, we need the cements, we need the uh, we can say sand. Okay, so there are number of players in the market who are selling the infrastructure uh, raw material. Now you have to do the research. What you do, you just ask the cost from each and every person who are selling these raw material. Then you will compare that who is giving at the right place, we can say right thing at the right time at the right price. Okay, that is called market research. Next is purchase order tracking and follow up. It means from where you are purchasing or ordering the thing, you should track this. Okay, or you have to track and take the follow up of this particular raw material. Okay, as we know that nowadays, just because of technological development, we can easily track our material where it is, or through the Google Maps, or different kinds of geographical gadgets. We can easily find out where our material has reached. Okay, and we have to take the follow up for our raw material. Now next is determining of need and uh, determining of need and specifications of internal customer. In this point, what we do, we will determine the need of the customer or need of our organization. And now we will specify for the internal customer. Suppose we have an organization, and we are going to produce some kind of, we can say, oils. We are producing some kind of daily use material. So we are the internal customer for that kind of organizations or that kind of suppliers. So we have to determine the need and find out the specification of internal customers. Next is transmitting forecast of future need to the suppliers. What we do, we have to transmit our forecasting. We have to think that how much our future need from this particular supplier. We have to work for that. We make a proper chart for the suppliers, or what will be our future need. Next is supplier performance measurement. By the help of purchasing management, we can easily we can say measure the supplier's performance by the performance appraisal. Through the performance appraisal, through the as we have done some numericals for the suppliers tracking, or suppliers, which supplier is best for your organization. So this is called the supplier performance measurement. By this we can say that after the measurement, we can find out which supplier is most suitable supplier for you. Next is management of suppliers quantity. What we do in this, we have a proper management to find out the quality of the suppliers. Okay, we can say a good supplier is who can give you best product at the best place at the best price, or as you needed. Okay, next is contract management and negotiation. Contract is a very basic, we can say, a bonding of uh, seller, purchaser, and seller. Okay, so supplier here, the supplier here, the seller is a contract with your company that they will not cheat you. They will give you best to best possible products, best to best raw material at the best price, and the best we can say suitable time when you need it. Okay, and negotiation. Negotiation means if you have a number of suppliers in the market, so you have to we can say compare and negotiate with them, and you can select best supplier. Next is management of inbound and outbound transportation. It means purchase management works for inbound means for the entry of the raw material in the organization and exit of finished good to the market. They have to proper management of raw material and finished good. Next is price and cost analysis. Price and cost analysis is also very big concern. We know that we have to purchase in a lower cost and we have to sell our product in a best suitable prices as per the cost which we have involved in the production processes or another processes. As we have done, there are number of cost, so we have to go for the cost analysis. uh, where the cost is low, we have to switch that kind of suppliers, that kind of sellers. Okay. Next is there are number of functions of purchasing department. Purchasing department actual में क्या करता है? What are the works of purchasing department? There are, you can see number of work has done by the purchasing department. Number one, obtaining prices from the market, selection of vendors, awarding purchase orders to the vendors, follow up on delivery promises, adjustment and settle down for all the complaints, selection and training of purchasing personnel, and vendor relations. So these are the basic functions of the purchasing department. Obtaining prices from the market. What does it mean? It means when we go for the comparison, we found that there are different prices are available of the raw material in the market. Now this is a very big question in your mind, that who is the best supplier and who is the best seller in the market of raw material. So what we do, as per the price comparison, suppose you have selected the lowest price uh, purchaser or lowest price seller, but quality is also a very big concern in this matter. You have to compare as per the quality also, not only for the basis of price. Okay, that is called the overall follow up or overall comparison research. Okay, here what we did we did a research. Next is selection of vendors. Vendor mean any party, any third party, or any contractor who directly reach to you. You have to select as per their rates, as per their quality and quantity they are giving to you. Awarding purchase orders to the vendor. What we do, we have to give the order to the vendors, follow up delivery promises. We have to do the promise with the vendor that you will give the delivery at the right time, at the right person, at the right, we can say, right place or right prices. Next is adjustment and settle down all the complaints. What we do here, here we do all the complaints comparison or adjustment, because there are a number of complaints arises in each and every part of the organization. So we have to reduce, we can say, resolve the issues, whether it is uh, grievances, whether it is conflicts. So next one is selection and training of purchasing personnel. This is a very we can say a very important thing, that we have to give some training to that kind of personnel who are we can say involved in purchasing department. Okay, it is very necessary to give time to time training, because there are number of cheating are going in the marketplace. So how will you train your suppliers, how will you train your purchasing managers? That is also a very big concern. Next is vendor relation. You have to maintain a proper relation with your vendors. Okay. Next, a very important thing is purchasing cycle. What does it mean? It means any of the purchasing processes has done by a process or by a cycle. Okay, because we know that there is a uh, automative motion of each and everything. So there is also a cycle how to start purchasing and how to end the purchasing, and again we have to start. There is a proper cycle of purchasing. Number one is recognition of need. It means first of all we have to know that what is our need for purchasing, what kind of material we needed for our organization, from where we have to purchase the from where we have to purchase the overall price, we can say the raw material. So this is also a very important concern for our organization. So how can we recognize? We have to think all the aspects, from where to purchase, what is needed, what kind of products we are going to make. These all the aspects we have to think. Next is description of requirement. It means uh, purchase requisition format. There should be a proper description of your requirement. Suppose you are making a 3 bhk flat, okay, and full furnished flat you are going to produce or going to design. So there are some raw materials you have required. What kind of these raw materials? Suppose you have a proper 3 bhk flat. Next, furnitures, okay, what type of furniture you are using. There is a costly furniture, or you can say less costly furnitures. Next is what kind of you can say washroom material you are using. Okay, what kind of paintings you are going to install in these areas, or what kind of we can say kitchen appliances you are using or giving to that kind of person. That all has to be done as per the customer requirement. So we know that what is the actual requirement, or through which we will design our purchasing needs. Okay, next is selection of the source. Now there are single we can say single source, or there are multiple sources. Now it is your we can say requirement that where you want to go, either single purchasing or multiple purchasing. That is your own opinion. Next is determination of price and availability. Here you can determine what will be the price and what will be the availability, and where is the availability of raw material, and where you want to purchase. Okay, and what will be the best suitable prices for you. After these all the comparison, or after these all the requirements or identification, what will we do? We go for the place, go for placing the order. Okay, uh, we have to place the order that please provide that this much of quantity and this much of quality in uh, these prices. Okay, next, order acknowledgement. After the order you will check that how the order is okay, acknowledged as per you or not. Next, follow up and expediting. What we do after the acknowledgement, you will check the product which you have we can say you going to receive. You will follow up of this process, net checking the invoice. Now the if the product received to you, just check the material as is okay or not, quantity is as per you ordered, or approval for the payment. Now you will approve the overall process that it is okay. Now reach towards the purchasing, different types of purchasing. Number one is centralized purchasing. As it is clear by the term only that centralized means where there is a center location. Okay, or all the buyers reach to that kind of place to purchase. Okay, just take an example of Kerala. As we know that if we buy the coconut, raw coconut, so there is only one place in all over India is a Kerala or south, where we found best stock of coconut. Okay, so each and every buyer will reach that place or order from that place, because we know very well that the coconut of that particular area will be best. Okay, so this is called centralized purchasing. Each and every buyer reach to a single center and purchase from this center only. Okay, centralized purchasing means buying and managing purchases from one location for all locations within an organization. Means you are purchasing only from one location uh, for sending this raw material to each and every unit of your particular organization. Okay, one location for all locations. It's called centralized purchasing. What are the advantages of centralized purchasing? Reduction in inventory investment, because we know that there is only one place to is to buy, and there is only one place to stock. है ना? So inventory investment will be reduced. Economies of large scale buying. Here we can easily, because we are taking lot of material from a single place, so our buying will be economic buying. Next is decreased volume of paperwork, because to maintain the data from different places will be problematic. But when we are purchasing on a single unit, then to maintain the data will be very easy for us. Next is, what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages is delay in receiving the material. Here the receiving of the material can be delayed, because number of buyers are reaching to the place at a centralized purchasing place, and the supplier should be limited to sending your material. Okay, so that can be, your product can be delayed in reaching. Next in, staff are not experts, because there are number of person are working at the same place, so we don't know who is the skilled workers or who are not skilled workers. So it is very difficult to find out who is the staff is expert or not. Okay, next is not possible to take the benefits of local resources. We know that we are taking it on the single places, so here the comparison of the different places are reduced, totally reduced, or we can say we are neglected the comparison. So that is also a very difficult situation in centralized purchasing. Now, what is decentralized purchasing? We can say in a large firms there are many branches, okay, sections or departments. In each branch or department buy its own material and equipments. Then it is known as decentralized purchasing. What does it mean? It means if you are a unit or if you are a production department, uh, your raw material is same but you are making different products, or you can say that the raw material is also different and the product range is also different. Now each and every unit, suppose a particular department who is using uh, who is making the plastic objects, okay, plastic bottles, plastic bags, uh, plastic boxes, or different things related to plastics, wipers, or buckets, and number of things. Okay, so, another department of your particular organization is making the brooms, okay, for cleaning, or they are using rubbers, or they are making the sweeping materials. So, you know that your product range is very vast, so you have to purchase from different locations. So each and every particular unit is responsible for purchasing, from where they are purchasing, how they maintain the stock. That is totally decentralized. Okay, there is no any center for the raw material. Every unit have their own stores, and every unit have their own purposes for making the products. This is called decentralized purchasing. Next is advantages. What are the advantages of purchasing? Improved efficiency of the employees of every branch, section, and department. Here, every department is improving their efficiency, because all are responsible for purchasing and all are responsible for producing the product, so we can improve the efficiency of every unit. Next is faster procurement of material. Here each and every unit is doing their own work, so they can procure their material as fast as possible. Next is control over purchaser is no longer remote. Here a single purchases is not go for a long period. Okay, if the raw material has finished, the purchasing manager will reach to the market and they will purchase the material as they required. Okay, next is decentralized operations are more flexible, because we know that there are a number of units are working over here. Each and every person is responsible, so they know when they need it, how they need it, and what prices they need it. They do their own work, so this is very flexible kind of purchasing. Next is delay in receiving of the material or equipment is avoided. Here there is no delay in material, in arranging the material, because all are doing their own work. We know that we need this kind of product, this kind of raw material for purchasing, or we can do, for producing. So this is a decentralized purchasing advantages. Now what are the disadvantages? High cost resulting from the lack of negotiation. uh, we know that we don't have time to purchase. What we do, we do not negotiate with the buyers or sellers. Okay, we do not negotiate, so the high cost resulting. Okay, next is less quantity discounts. We are not the seller are not discounting with you, they are not giving discounts to you. So this is called decentralized purchasing disadvantages. Next is next topic is purchasing policies. Each and every purchasing are following some kind of policies. What are these policies and how does it works? Number one is ancillary development. What does it mean? It means ancillary development refers to the creation of supplementary products, services, or facilities that support the main business operations. This can include support service, secondary product, and infrastructure. Supplementary products are making by the ancillary development, so or facilities that support the main business operations. What are these? Support services, secondary products, and infrastructures. Next is make or buy decision. We know that we have to think over how to make or buy decisions involves choosing between producing goods or services, in-house making, or purchasing them from external suppliers or buy. Key considerations are cost analysis we have to do. We have to know the capacity, and we should work for quality control, and we should go for the flexibility. For make and buy decision is very important policy in uh, purchasing departments. Next is speculative or forward buying. What does it mean? Speculative or forward buying involves purchasing goods or materials in advance based on anticipation for future prices increased or supply shortages. This strategy is often used to hedge against price fluctuation, ensure supply, or optimize cost. What we do, we will take the material for advance as per the future requirement, but it can create risk for the inventory management, or taking the thing in a bulk can reduce the, you can say, the cost of the raw material, because as per the, we can say, when we are considering the future demand, we don't know that how much is useful and how much is non useful for us. What is forward buying? Let's think about it. First of all, we have to discuss all the points in this particular. So, as we were discussing about the forward buying, first of all, just a quick revision of purchasing policies. What is ancillary development? It means we have some supplementary products, services, or facilities that support the main business operations. Okay, we have another support, can say, from the other units. Next is make and buy decision. We have to concentrate on what should be the prices, what should be the capacity, what are the quality, and should be flexible. Next is speculative or forward buying. It means we are purchasing the goods for advance. Okay, but that can be a very big problem for us for the future if we are we can say we are taking a lot of material for production, and suppose the market demand can reduce, so what we do, our raw material can be uh, go for the wastage. Okay, what is forward buying? Forward buying is a process related to inventories, parts, components, products, etc. in where they are purchased in quantity access to demand to counter future price rise. What we do in forward buying? We are just purchasing the things to take this thing in consideration that in coming future the price of raw material or the price of components can be high. So what we do, we are purchasing in a lot of quantity. Okay, and uh, just take this thing in a mind, that is called forward buying. It means we are thinking forward. Okay, we are thinking for future aspects, and we have purchased as per the uh, either there will be demand or not. Okay, if there is a demand in the, suppose you are making apparels, and you know that the demand of your apparels can be high in next some months, and you are having produced your things, or you have, can say you have purchased the raw material for production, just to think this, keep this thing in a mind that our demand can be high just because of festivals. So you have started producing, and you have started production, but in case your production demand can reduce, that forward buying can be a problem for you. Okay, this is a practice by entity when they find manufacturers selling the product at a discounted price and purchase the item in bulk. Here, what we do, the manufacturing selling the product at a discounted price and purchase the item in a bulk. Here we have purchased in a bulk, and we have to send the product in a discounted price. Next is, now when the price of the product is set to original price by the manufacturer, retailer can make profit by selling the item purchased at lower price earlier. What does it mean? It means that if the price of the product is set to the original price by the manufacturer, and retailer can make profit by selling the items purchased at lower price earlier. What we do, we have already sold, we sell the uh, we have supplied the product in the market or to the different retailers. Now the demand can high, so what we do, we can earn more profit from these products. Okay, this is used when manufacturers are overstocked and they want to clean the inventory. Forward buying is always have a inventory of overstock. They will sell these products on the lower cost, and the retailers will purchase at lower cost and they will sell on the higher cost. So the profit maximization by the retailer can be, we can say, beneficial. Next is they can give the discount to retailers, and retailers also get benefits by gaining the profit, as I have told you. Making or buying. Make or buying means a make or buy decision is an act of choosing between manufacture a product in house and purchasing it an external supplier. From where to purchase, from where to buy, or who will be your manufacturer of the product in house and who will purchase the particular product. Next is make and buy decision, like outsourcing decisions speak to a comparison of the cost and advantages of product in house versus buying itself. Next is there are many factors at play that may tilt a company from making an item in house or outsourcing it. Okay, that is not a very, we can say, considered point. Next, as we have already read what is forward buying. Now the next topic is what are the factor influencing makes or buy decisions. The first point is capacity needed or availability. Okay, means how much is your capacity or how much you need, your need. Next is what kind of product you are going to buy, what are your specialization, in which you are making your product, what is your specialized product. Next is consistency of quality. What will be the are you quality consistent, you are giving the best to best quality in the market. So this is also a very big decision. Next is type of demand, either your demand is high or not, what kind of demand is there. Okay, next is delivery schedules and lean times, what will be the delivery schedules of yours. Okay, effective cost. Next is non-economic factor, these are the factors that will influence your make and buy decisions. Now these are some decisions which you will take when you are going to buy the product or make the product. Okay, just think about it. What are these factors? So these are some decisions which a purchaser will take when he is going to make. If timely supplies are not assured. Okay. Next, if the purchase price is not viable and does not fit in costing. When the buyers is highly quality conscious. In case of copyright issues, design and style, confidentiality, if the freight factor to buy the items is high, availability of capacity to manufacture, if sufficient skilled manpower is available to manufacture the product or to produce the services. Next is when the scope of saving in cost to manufacture the product. So these are some decisions which a producer will take when they make the product. What are the decisions to buy? When you are going to buy the product, when the copyright are with the vendor or suppliers, when the requirement of product or services is only in the short term, if the vendor can supply the items at lower prices, better quality, and on due dates. Next is if higher costing items can be produced with the close delivery dates, that you have to think about it. And you, if no problem of design and style confidentiality, if the firm does not have sufficient manufacturer capacity and no chances of increase in the capacity. Next is when the requirement of an item or services is in a small quantity and setup cost are high. If the cost of manufacturing is high and the cost of transportation is low, then you have to buy. Next is in case on unavailability of skilled manpower, you have to take the decisions. If the manufacturing process is complex, an organization does not want to invest the money in the processes. 11th is if the delivery dates are close and more important and costlier items can be produced. So these are some decisions when you have to take when you are going for the buy. So I hope it is you have understand these topics in better manner. So uh, you have to think over it and just read carefully each and every point. As I have discussed with you, all the points are very necessary when we are going for the purchasing or make and buy decisions.